we are launching the new American cycle. Now, most of you probably remember the last one, which we just concluded with All the King's Men. And it was a 5-year cycle, some of the most popular plays we've done in the last 5 years, and really exciting. And we had this conversation of, a few months ago of should we just keep churning out American plays and call it the American cycle, or can, now that we're finished with the first phase of it, and Bart said, no, we have to, there has to be an imperative reason to move forward. And that's how he thought about doing Abe Lincoln in Illinois, which is going to be the play that kicks us off. And he said, let's think about something that's part of the season as a whole, but part of the American cycle going forward, which is justice. And how do our decisions of right and wrong in extreme circumstances, how does that make up the American character? And which I thought was just a brilliant idea and really sums up what Abe Lincoln is about. And so very exciting. Soon, in about a month, we're going to announce all 5 plays. We actually do 6. We may cheat and do 2 in 1 year. So the next American cycle is coming. It's going to start with Abe Lincoln in Illinois. Now, one thing I want to talk about briefly is just the fact that we do the American cycle play at the end of our season because that coincides with the beginning of most school years. And so I think that's an extraordinary commitment on behalf of this theater to choose plays that enhance the curriculum of our schools. But we back that up. We don't just kind of do it and hope some school buses roll up. They do. We get out there, just like Front Porch, which I told you about earlier. We design our education and outreach programs to reach people and get them in the conversation, even if they can't get here, which I think is an extraordinary thing. We obviously want them to come here, but we only have so many seats. And so what I'm really proud of is that our education program, Living History, which goes out primarily to the schools, serves more people than we could actually fit in here for the entire run of Abe Lincoln in Illinois. And in this year, with the kind of change and historic moment and consequence that we have in our country, and the way that parallels what Abe Lincoln faced when the possibilities were wide open, when he could have failed. And right now we have a big moment in our country, and we don't know whether our president is going to be successful. We can bet on it and make it a little bit easier to take. We can hedge it a little bit, but we don't know what's going to happen. And that's the world of Abe Lincoln in Illinois. And that's why I think it's a great play to be doing, but also a great play to go out to something close to 20,000 young people and serve them with Living History, which is basic. It's fun too. It's not sort of us going in and talking to kids. What we do is we go in and we have actors play a couple of different parts in the play, and they debate each other, sort of like Lincoln Douglas debates. And what they do is they sort of get the students to take sides and think about the issues, and that leads to some colorful language and things like that, but also some learning in a really fun way. And I've seen a couple of them, and it's just really fun, but also something that really gets into the idea. So this theater has made the commitment that part of our season is about that. A lot of theaters do great outreach work, but very few that I've seen make the commitment to say we're going to take an entire 20+% of our season and turn it over to this kind of an idea. We do it with a play that anybody can come see and enjoy and love and not even know about that program. But I think knowing about it enriches the experience. So I hope that you get a chance to see. This year we're going to experiment with taking Living History out into some different climates, and maybe we had this idea that maybe we hop on a ferry and just do it, see what people think if we start doing the Lincoln Douglas debate right on the ferry. So we're going to play around with it, but we're still going to be out in the schools. They depend on it, especially in a year like this. So I couldn't be more excited to support that program. So like I said, Abe Lincoln doesn't stop on the stage. It goes out into the community and in our schools. But it is going to be on the stage, and it's going to be very exciting. And what's really exciting is that our season is bookended by Miss Sheila Daniels, because she's going to be directing both Crime and Punishment and Abe Lincoln in Illinois. So I'm excited about that. So tell us what it's going to be like.
It's going to be big. Some of our designers for Abe Lincoln are actually on board. A lighting designer named L.B. Morse, who designed the lights for Streetcar Named Desire, and a really wonderful young scenic designer named Mikiko Suzuki McAdams. Mikiko has been actually the assistant designer on many of Bart's shows in New York, including South Pacific. And I actually knew her 10 years ago when she was a student at Cornish, so it's really a homecoming for her. She's an incredibly successful career as a scenic designer in New York, and she's coming back to design both here at Magical Thinking and Abe Lincoln in Illinois. The conversations that we've really been having are, we're all becoming complete Lincoln fanatics. I mean, it is a rabbit hole to start to read about Abraham Lincoln. I remember going into Powell's bookstore when I first found out I was going to direct it and being like, oh, I'll just get a biography. It's an impossible task. But I am very committed to this not being a museum piece, that how can we make this a theatrical event? Our marketing director and I found this great sort of modern folklorist who has a whole CD of the music of Abraham Lincoln's time. So sort of really looking at bringing that time to life, bringing him to life. He was very much, he really grappled with whether or not he wanted to be a leader. And I think in many ways, all the best leaders do grapple with that. He recognized that the toll that it would take on the rest of his life, but he really believed in responsibility and duty to his country. And it's very exciting to learn about his early life and all of his friends and all the travels that he went through. He was a great scholar as well.